Good morning. You are listening to the Coach's Corner on KYNT. Let's go to the voice of the Yankton Bucks and Gazelles, Bryce Ladwig.
Good morning from 1019 Broadway Avenue. This is the Coach's Corner, and I am back. Bryce Ladwig with you here this morning. Thanks for joining us. First of all, let's get some news out of the way. In case you have wondered where I've been the last couple of weeks, whether it's for the Coach's Corner or, Yankton broadcasts, I've been nowhere to be found. My beautiful wife was expecting to give birth and then did to Marshall Ladwig. That's right. I'm a dad times 2 now. 4 pounds, 17 ounces for your stats. And I'm trying to see how early it is to get him into the Coach Rosie lifting program. I don't think that they accept infants yet, but we shall see. Very special thanks to Braden Butler, one of the sports producers here at KYNT, has really stepped in for me the last few weeks, covering games. And he'd be on the baseball broadcast anyway, but really just taking the full responsibility so I can focus on my family. And then really stepping up again, we had about a week-long kind of a little health scare with our newborn baby boy, and he was really there for me when I needed him to be, so I really appreciate Braden Butler. He also is the one that did all these interviews with these coaches that you'll hear today. Over the last couple of days, couldn't get back in time to get that done, so I'm glad he was able to catch up with the Yankton Coaches Thursday and Friday, so we can play them for you here today. We will take our first break here on the Coach's Corner from the KYNT Studios, sponsored by SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab. When we come back, we will start talking Yankton track and field as Braden Butler caught up with Coach Jeff Gross. That's all around the corner. Coach's Corner, KYNT, KYNTV.
SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab in Yankton has a newer, research-based mindset when it comes to treating musculoskeletal aches and pains. We take the time to figure out where the pain is coming from and educate our patients on what they can do to improve their functional range of motion. We administer a range of treatments and preventative approaches that are customized to each individual patient and their health goals. Visit us on our website at swatchiropracticandrehab.com. When you need to feel better, visit SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab out by the lake on West Highway 52.
When I'm searching for self-expression, I find it on stage. Acting inspires me to be bold in my approach and get lost in my work. It teaches me to welcome new perspectives and create meaning through storytelling. Acting allows me to show my spirit at Mount Marty University. How do you show your imaginative side? Schedule your campus visit to Mount Marty University at showyourspiritmmu.com.
Spring is the perfect time of year to start upgrading your home, and what better place to start than with your garage doors? This is Cody Miles, owner of Upper Midwest Garage Door. We offer a wide variety of American-made, unique Clopay garage doors, free in-home consultations, a digital preview of the new garage doors on your home, and the expert small-town service you deserve. Home improvement season is here. Get started today with your local independent Clopay dealer. Give us a call, stop by, or learn more at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com.
FNBO is the great big small bank, and for more than 165 years, we've been with you where you are. A bank that's ready for all your needs, both big and small. Here to help you earn more, save more, so you can do more every step of the way. It's what you can expect from the great big small bank. FNBO, independent and family-owned for 6 generations, and ever so focused on you. Stop on by or visit us at fnbo.com, member FDIC.
Hello, here's to welcoming moments, big and small, embracing the unexpected, savoring life. At Avera, our nationally recognized health system will be right here with you, ready for anything. We listen to your goals and help you achieve them with care and coverage. We'll move you forward through sickness and health and every milestone in between. Avera, moving health forward. Learn more at avera.org/forward.
Truxedo, a real truck company, has new job opportunities for you. We are searching for motivated candidates to fill a variety of roles, including production assemblers on our Wednesday and weekend shifts, as well as an industrial engineer and mechanical engineer. Truxedo offers a positive and team-oriented environment with many perks and benefits. Come seek the new opportunities Truxedo has for you. Visit truxedo.com/careers to apply.
Rodents want to make your home their home. Pesky invaders go in search of warm housing and food for the winter. An invasion of rodents can be costly and can contribute to disease and contamination of products. So trust the experts to keep them out. Olson Pest Technicians is family-owned with over 80 years of experience. Even the toughest infestations don't stand a chance. Olson Pest Technicians, putting pests to rest since 1966. Call 800-KIL-BUGS.
Think about how people really see you. The kid at the drive-thru just sees a coffee drinker.
Please go forward.
Your local barista sees the person who loves a smiley face in their latte.
See you next time.
It's kind of the same way with insurance. Other insurance companies just see a customer, but a State Farm agent sees more. They see you as a neighbor. Your State Farm agent is here to get to know who you really are, so they can help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Rhonda Westland at 665-4411 today to learn more.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Bryce Ladwig with you here this morning. Getting back into the swing of things. Braden Butler caught up with Coach Jeff Gross 2 days ago. And for those that may have missed the opening segment of the show, Braden Butler has really stepped in for me the last few weeks as my family welcomed a new baby boy into the mix. Spent a little longer in the hospital than we were expecting, but he really stepped up for us, and I really appreciate that. But he's the one that's interviewed these coaches the last couple days, and I'm just hosting and playing them for you here today. But this was Braden Butler catching up with Coach Jeff Gross of Yankton Track and Field.
This is Braden Butler for the Coach's Corner. Joining me currently is Yankton High School Track and Field Coach Jeff Gross. Before we get anything about the busy week that the track and field team had, how are you doing today, Coach?
Good.
It's been a busy week for the track and field team and for you, Coach Gross, with the Corn Palace relays being made up on Monday that were supposed to happen over the weekend, and then a meet on Tuesday in Sioux Falls. Could you give some updates and results from those meets from earlier this week?
Yep, we had really busy week of hurry up and waiting. Last weekend we were supposed to have the Corn Palace relays on Saturday. We got all those entries together, and then that event got canceled. So then quickly on Friday night we tried to get into the Sioux City relays. So we got all those entries in, and then that meet was canceled as well. You know, we're trying to get the kids to be able to compete and so forth. Somehow we caught a break on Monday. We took about 30 kids up to Mitchell to the rescheduled Corn Palace relays. We had a really nice day up there. Dylan Payer had a really nice day up there. He ran a 4:23 in the mile, or in the 1600. He was completely unpushed by anybody, so he did what he needs to do. He also won the 800 up there, ran a 2 minutes flat, .65. Again, he kind of can do that in his sleep a little bit. He was totally unchallenged there, and did a nice job keeping his pace and setting him up for later on in the season. Also, Dylan and 3 other guys on our boys 4x400 meter relay that particular day. We had Nate Schoenfelder, Dylan Payer, Austin Goebel, and Cooper Grotenheis all combined for a really nice time in the 4x400 meter relay of 3:26.42, which, I mean, it's a very, very nice time. It sits as number 2 in Class AA right now. But we actually got third in that event on Monday. Sioux Falls Christian was there. They ran a 3:22, and then Aberdeen Central was there as well, and they ran a 3:24, which are outstanding times as well for this early in the season. So we ran a great time and got third. But we've got a lot of options that we're going to have in our boys mile relay. We've probably got 6 or 8 guys that can contribute there. So that's the kind of depth we need to continue to develop on that front. Dylan Payer, like I said, as mentioned here, he was named our boys athlete of the meet that day just for his performances up there, and Dylan is going to continue to build on those. And then we also have an Iron Sharpens Iron Award this year, and Dylan picked Sam Larrington as the person that's been pushing him in practice, and I want to give some recognition to Sam. Senior athlete, works hard, pushes other kids in practice, and just want to mention him, and his teammates are noticing him. Also at the Corn Palace Relays, and actually she had a really nice day also in Sioux Falls on Tuesday, which we'll talk about in just a second as well, but Olivia Dimmer's been doing a really nice job. She got second in the 100-meter hurdles up in Mitchell. She got fourth in the 300-meter hurdles, and then she also ran very nicely on our girls' mile relay and on our 4x1 also. And then when she ran on Tuesday in Sioux Falls, she again ran very nicely in the 100-meter hurdles and actually brought her time down by about a quarter of a second there. So she's right about where she was at the end of last year, and she's just been doing a great job and giving us more options in some relays as well as the hurdling that she does very well. And she was named our athlete of the meet in Mitchell, and she chose Gracie Gutzman as kind of the person in practice that's been pushing her. And Gracie runs a lot of relays for us, and hoping to get her into some open events and to continue to improve. But both of those ladies are doing a really nice job. And that kind of sums up Monday up in Mitchell. Tuesday, we went up to Sioux Falls O'Gorman. That was a quadrangular with Sioux Falls O'Gorman, ourselves, Sioux Falls, Washington, and Brandon Valley. Very windy that day. The temperature was actually very nice, but the sustained winds and the gusts were made it a little uncomfortable. Times we had a lot of kids still get personal records. Some athletes that had really nice days that day. Sydney Cirque was named our outstanding female athlete of the day that day. She got fifth in the 400-meter dash with a time of 63:37. And she also won the 800-meter dash with a time of 2:28.93. And Sydney wanted to recognize Thea Chance. Thea's a senior for us, anchored our medley, ran the 1,600-meter run, and has just been doing a great job for us. She ran, I think, a 5:27 up in Sioux Falls, and both of those ladies are doing a really nice job. And then to recognize some of our throwers in Sioux Falls, our outstanding male athlete on Tuesday was Matthew Sheldon. Matthew's a sophomore. He finished fourth in the shot put, set a personal record for himself on a couple of different throws up in Sioux Falls, threw a 46:10, which is starting to get up in that area where, you're starting to tickle 50 maybe here by the end of the year is the hope, or get over 50. And you're starting to do that, all of a sudden that's going to help us at the conference meet and at the state meet down the road. And Matthew selected Caden Weberink as his person that's been pushing him in practice. And Caden got fourth in the discus up in Sioux Falls on Tuesday, through 133 feet. And again, that's starting to get into that neighborhood of anytime you are getting into the 130s, then into the 140s, hopefully into the 150s, you can start scoring some points there, definitely in the conference and hopefully on the state level as well.
Coach, the team gets an extended break after meets on Monday and Tuesday back-to-back, as they will next compete on Thursday, April 27th, as Yankton hosts the First Dakota Relays. Could you give a preview of that event and give an idea of how many teams are going to be making the trip to Yankton to compete in those relays next week?
Yep, we got about 16 teams coming in. So it's going to be, we're usually in that 12-team range for that meet, but with the meets that have been lost, we're trying to be good hosts and good neighbors and let people in. We're going to, have our entries are going to be expanded just a little bit, just to give those kids even that much more of a chance to have some competition scenarios. The last I looked, it was supposed to be in the mid-60s on that day. I haven't looked in the last couple days, but hopefully it's sunny and in the mid-60s. That would be fantastic. Going to invite people to come out and see our great facility that we have here and see our kids compete in that facility. It's our second to the last home event of the year. We have the last chance meet at the end of May as well. It probably is a good week for prom here for the track team, both to recover a little bit, but then also to avoid some of the weather that's coming in this weekend. But kids are still plugged in and doing well, and we're excited about we're about halfway through the year now, and we're excited to get moving into the Howard Wood element, and then right after that's the conference meet, and then all of a sudden it's the state meet. I think we've got unbelievably only 5 track meets left, so the season moves very quickly.
It's hard to believe there's already only a handful of track meets left in the season. Coach, thank you for joining me this week, and enjoy your extended break as a team and as a coach from track and field before the First Dakota Relays on Thursday. Get that time to rest, recover, and then also for some of your athletes to have a good time over the weekend. As you mentioned, it's prom time at Yankton High School.
Yep, and as this airs on Saturday, we're actually going to be helping with the River Rat Road Race in town, so drive carefully around, especially if you're down by the dam, because there's going to be a lot of runners out on the roads down there. But also get out and support them. There's still time to get out there and support them here this morning, Saturday morning. And a lot of people in town. I know they've got about 200 entries there in the various races that they have, the 5K, the 10K, and the half marathon. So if you're coming in from out of town, we want to welcome you. And if you're in town and you're from Yankton, get a chance, go out and support those folks out there on the trails out in the Gavin's Point area.
Thanks for taking the time out of your day to talk, Coach, about the last week of events for Yankton Track and Field. We'll get you back on, talk again next week with some results from the First Dakota Relays, hopefully. Hope everybody stays safe this weekend, either with prom or with the River Rat Road Race, which you mentioned. Have a good week, Coach, and we'll talk to you again next time.
Thank you.
All right, again, that was Braden Butler catching up with Coach Jeff Gross of Yankton Track and Field. We'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner. We'll talk Yankton Gazelles golf with Coach Brett Syme. Braden Butler caught up with him yesterday. Excuse me, 2 days. I keep doing that. 2 days ago as well. We'll be back here on the Coach's Corner.
Small businesses are the backbone of our community. CoreTrust helps your business thrive with checking, online bill pay, small business loans, credit card processing, local approval and support for government grants and loans, investments to grow your hard-earned assets, and insurance to protect them. All from CoreTrust, the community bank that's right down the street and everywhere you want us to be. Visit CoreTrustBank.com today.
Member FDIC.
Do you have dry, sore, or irritated eyes? If so, you may have dry eye. At Vision Care Associates, we offer a simple, fast, and non-surgical procedure to treat black glands in your eyelids that can help your eyes to feel comfortable again. Schedule an appointment with Dr. Fieser to find out about dry eye treatment with our newest technology.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MTRC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. MTRCSmithInsurance.com.
At Triple Time Rudy's, you get convenient access to quality fuel products. Plus, you'll also find quality South Dakota products like Dimmock cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers. With a local-friendly feel and unique product offering, Triple Time Rudy's is your local convenience store that supports schools and events and provides fuel discounts to Yankton's largest employers. For all of your daily fill-ups and convenience needs, pull into Triple Time Rudy's at 17th and Broadway.
And welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig. Braden Butler caught up with Coach Brett Syme of Yankton Gazelles Golf a couple days ago. Here is that conversation. Again, Gazelles Golf.
This is Braden Butler here on the Coach's Corner. I am being joined by Brett Syme, the Yankton Gazelles golf coach. Coach Syme, it's been an interesting week so far. You had a meet earlier this week in Brandon. You had a quadrangular that was supposed to happen on Thursday that has been canceled, postponed, still up in the air right now due to weather. Before we get into all that, though, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Other than the weather, doing pretty good. It doesn't look like it's going to be very conducive for golfing, here anytime soon. So, we're just hoping to get a little break from the weather so that we can get out and get some good work in.
As you said, Coach, weather right now isn't exactly the best for golfing. Took that trip to Brandon earlier in the week. Can you tell us how the weather was on that day as you squared off in a quad in Brandon? Gazelles finished highly as a team in that one, and a couple individuals as well, finishing near the top of the field.
Yeah, we went to Brandon on Tuesday, had a good tournament there. It was a quad against Harrisburg, Brandon Valley, and Brookings. It was another tough day to play. We went up there. At least the temperature was okay. I mean, it was in the 50s, maybe reached 60 at some point while we were playing, but the wind was howling. And, if we're going to play golf in South Dakota, sometimes we've got to learn to play in the wind. And we just got to realize that, when that wind does kick up, scores are maybe going to go up a little bit. And, if they do, we got to not hang our heads and we just got to battle through it. And because we got to realize that those other teams are going to be having the same troubles that we are because, if we're going to let the weather beat us, it's the same for everybody. We had a talk the other day at practice that, we just got to be more prepared than the other teams if we know the weather is going to be a little bit iffy. And if we can do that and go in with a better mental attitude, that we can maybe beat some of the girls that we're playing against just by having a better attitude. And like you said, we did finish pretty high. We ended up second out of the 4 teams. Our team score was a little higher, but with all the wind that we were playing in and everything, I think all the teams probably could say that the team scores were higher than they thought they would be. But we did have a couple good individual efforts. Tied for second were Gracie Brockberg, one of our seniors, and Elia Homestead, 8th grader, who has been a very good player for us these last couple of years. They both shot 90. Elsie Larson, our other senior, shot 96, tied for 6th. And then we had Sabrina Kraske, shot 103, which is a little bit atypical for her. She's a pretty good player, and, I think the wind just got to her. And like I said, we had a talk after the match about we've just really got to try and grind it out and take one shot at a time, do the best you can on one shot, and try not to let things get you down. And, as we continue play throughout the year, I think we're going to get better and better at that. We did have 2 other golfers playing. We had Madison Riken shoot 111 and Bailey Anderson shoot 116. Hopefully as we go through the year again, we can get some of those scores down a little bit. My goal is to maybe get our team score down, around that 360 mark, which would be everybody shooting around 90. It was 379 the other day. Like I said, scores were high. Harrisburg probably, was hoping to be under a 360, and they were up at 370. So it was a tough day to play. The wind really blew, and it really wreaked havoc on some of the golfers. So it was a good tournament, though. We need to get out there early in the season, get some competition under our belts, and we're just looking forward to next week, hopefully. Maybe getting to play in some tournaments. We did have Thursday canceled for now. I would love to see that one get rescheduled because that is a course that a lot of our girls love to play. It's a good opportunity to score. And with the way the state has qualifying for the state tournament, it's all about an average score in tournaments that have 4 or more teams. So, we can use every opportunity to get courses where it's good to score on played. And with that one being canceled on Thursday, it just wasn't the best situation for us, but I totally understand why they did it. If you remember, Thursday morning was not very nice. It was low 40s, it was raining, it was windy, and it just would not have been a very good day to play.
Coach, you got another trip coming up on Tuesday we'll get to in a second, but I got to ask after our conversation last week, I assume because it hasn't been brought up yet, it didn't happen. There was no car trouble this week getting to Brandon, was there?
Not this time. I'm going to knock on wood because I hope it doesn't happen next week when we got to travel all the way to Pierre.
And we'll talk about that invitational now in Pierre. You're going to be competing at Hillsview Golf Course out in Pierre, taking a trip to the state capital. Early morning start time as well. So what exactly is the logistics of when's the team leaving Yankton to go to that meet, and how do you prepare for those long trips early in the morning?
Well, with it being a long trip, like you said, it takes 3.5, 4 hours to get there. We are actually going to leave Monday after school. We're going to try and get out of here as quick as possible. We're going to go up and hopefully catch a little bit of daylight in Pierre and maybe go out and chip and putt a little bit at Hillsview Golf Course up in Pierre to maybe get a feel for the greens. If time would allow, we could maybe get some balls and maybe hit some balls. But, it doesn't leave us a good chance to try and practice Monday and then take off, because then that would get to be a really long night. But with a 10 o'clock start, we don't want to have to be leaving Yankton at 4 a.m. So we are allowed to go up on Monday night. It's kind of a fun trip for the girls. They get to spend a night in a hotel, create some of those bonds that are great in a team sport. And we'll get up early Tuesday morning. We'll probably leave from the hotel about 8:30. We got a shotgun start at 10 o'clock. Try and get an hour or so of warm-up time in, and hopefully, the weather will cooperate and we can get a good tournament in up in Pierre, because that's at the end of the year, that's where we're going to be playing the state tournament, and that's one of the reasons why we're going to be going there. And looking at the field that's going to be there, it's most of the teams in the state are going to be there because they all want a shot at playing the state tournament course.
One more thing before we head out, Coach. Obviously, Pierre, the trip to Pierre is not your only meet. Next week you have a quad a little closer to home at Fox Run Golf Course at 11 a.m. on Friday. Can you talk about that a little bit, and then how you adjust from you have to make this trip overnight to Pierre, and then you can sleep in your own bed, you can get up early, have a cup of coffee and breakfast, and get out there and get golfing at 11 a.m. on Friday?
Yeah, it'll be nice to get to play at home. And, Fox Run, it looks like it's in pretty good shape. We've been getting some rain, so things are greening up, and, looking forward to it. It's going to be a good tournament. We got to play against Harrisburg, O'Gorman, and Brandon Valley. It'll be another good tournament. It's a counting tournament for us since there's 4 teams there. But it's always nice to get to play at home. And Fox Run is one of those golf courses, too, where, if the weather cooperates and the wind stays down, it's a good opportunity for the girls to get a chance to score out there. If the wind blows at Fox Run, there's not a lot to stop it. So, we're hoping to get some nice weather here coming up here in the future to try and get out, get some good work in, and try and improve on some of those scores that we've been shooting.
All right, well, thanks for taking the time out of your morning to talk to me, Coach, for the Coach's Corner. We'll try to get you back on next week. Now, you're a little busy towards the end of the week, but we'll see what we can do.
All right, thanks a lot, Braden.
Thank you again to Yankton Gazelles golf coach Brett Syme. For the Coach's Corner, I'm Braden Butler.
All right, thanks to Braden Butler for catching up with Coach Brett Syme. We'll take a break here on the Coach's Corner. When we come back, we'll turn our attention to Yankton Bucks tennis. Our very own Braden Butler caught up with Coach Ryan Haig yesterday, immediately following a matchup that the Bucks tennis program had. We'll talk all about it coming up here on the Coach's Corner.
Buying or selling your home is one of the biggest decisions you may make in your lifetime. I'm Deb Speck with Vision Real Estate, and I'm ready to help guide you with professional advice from before the listing until after the close. Not only will you get real estate knowledge, but also we provide moving boxes and an enclosed courtesy trailer to help make the move just a little easier. Call me today at 664-5555.
First Dakota National Bank has been paving financial futures since 1872. But when it comes to supporting a community, it takes more than experience. Financial planning takes a personal touch, which is why we offer a wide range of customizable options for personal, business, and ag banking. We've been doing banking longer than anyone else, but we're first because our goals have never changed. Helping local communities plan and reach their financial success has and always will be what we're here for. Member FDIC.
You feel awful. Stuffy nose, then runny nose, the sniffles too. You don't know what to take to make yourself feel better. This is Michael with Yankton Rexall. When you feel under the weather, you want relief, but there are a lot of over-the-counter choices. Some may even interfere with daily medications you're taking. At Yankton Rexall, our staff is here to help you make the best choice for your health. Yankton Rexall, your hometown pharmacy since 1923, located in the Meridian District.
A whole
person focus makes a whole person healthy. Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine Amanda Sedlacek with the Yankton Medical Clinic focuses on lifestyle and environmental factors that affect your well-being. She looks beyond your symptoms and helps you build a lifestyle that not only fights illness, but prevents it. You need a lifelong physician who will help you establish a healthy care plan and be by your side if the need arises for medication or treatment. Schedule an appointment with Dr. Amanda Sedlacek and take control of your health journey. Learn more at yanktonmedicalclinic.com.
All right, our own Braden Butler caught up with Coach Ryan Haig immediately following Yankton Bucks tennis yesterday afternoon. Here is that conversation.
This is Braden Butler here for the Coach's Corner. Joining me currently is Ryan Haig, the varsity tennis coach for Yankton Bucks Tennis. Before we get into anything, Coach, you just wrapped up a duel with Rapid City Christian not too long ago at the time of recording. So we'll start with how are you doing, and then if you could give us an update on how that duel shook out for the Bucks.
I'm real proud of how the guys played. We dropped the duel 5-4, so a very, very close duel against one of the teams that everybody considers one of the best teams in the state. So we battled hard. We were right there with them, stuck with them the entire way. Probably had a couple upsets along the way. And considering we played those guys earlier in the year and lost 8-1, to come back and play a 5-4 duel with them and, scare them just a little bit, I think is quite an accomplishment. And the guys played well, and it shows some growth from day one till where we're at today. So we've got some work to do. There's no doubt about it, but, we're on the right path.
And, with that today, as you mentioned, the Bucks falling 5-4, who are a couple maybe individual players that really stood out to you today compared to maybe where they were when you played Rapid City Christian earlier this year?
Well, I think as expected, you start at the top of your lineup, and, we've got Zach and Harrison at one doubles, just playing very, very high-quality tennis. And, they stepped on the court and played one of the best double teams in the state for Rapid City Christian, and we beat them, and, just went out and just played very, very well. Dropped the first set, actually, and won the second set as well as the tiebreak. So it just tells how gritty those guys are. They're they've got good heads on their shoulders. They play very, very well together. They communicate well. And, they've been there before. A couple years ago, those guys were the Flight 3 state champions. And, last year we broke them up a little bit, and both of them won a state championship at each individual flight. And now we put them back together, and so they've got a ton of experience, and that's definitely showing off for them right now. We put in different three doubles teams together today with Miles Kratzky and Luke Moeller, and they performed very, very well. And for the first time playing together, they just kind of stepped up to the plate and played a doubles team in Rapid City Christian that has been on fire as of late, and they were able to get a nice victory over them today as well. So, it's kind of started out with the doubles court. Doubles, we got 2 of the 3 doubles wins, and, I think it kind of carried over to the singles. We played very, very close matches where Harrison got a nice win at number 2, and Jack Pedersen got a nice win at number 5, and Chris Rockney dropped a super tiebreak, right there. So, you consider we lost 5-4. Chris Rockney lost in a super tiebreak. We changed that super tiebreak around, and now we've got the match won 5-4. So that's how close the duel really was. And we won a lot of points, just couldn't win all the games. So happy with the guys. They worked their tails off here in the last couple of days against 2 of the best teams in the state, and we're getting there.
As you mentioned, that working against a couple of the best teams in the state the last couple of days. You also had a duel on Thursday morning, against Harrisburg. That was originally supposed to be triangular, but it was moved indoors. A lot of moving parts on that one. If you could just give a rundown of that meet on Thursday.
Yeah, like you said, a lot of moving parts. We're very, very thankful for the opportunity to be able to play indoors here in Yankton. This spring has been a nightmare. Definitely not favorable as far as weather conditions go and playing tennis outdoors, but with our indoor facility, we've been able to get just about all of our matches in. And Harrisburg came to town, and they're probably the favorite to win the ESC title this year. They're loaded from top to bottom, and we went out there and again we battled to a tough duel. I think was it 6-3 or 5-4? I think it was 6-3. We lost 6-3. However, there were 2 super tie breaks in that match, and one of them, I believe, we lost 15-13. So, if we turn those 2 super tie breaks around, we win 5-4, and we beat probably everybody's favorite to win the ESD title this year. So, you combine the Harrisburg duel and the Rapid City Christian duel, there's the difference between those 2 duels is 3 super tie breaks. And so that's just that's a razor fine line that you're drawing right there. If we can get our guys to figure out a way to, for a couple more points there, we come out on the weekend 2-0 and probably opening the eyes of a lot of people and shocking a lot of people as well. So, I'm happy where we're at. We've played lights out tennis, but we need Mother Nature to kind of straighten herself out and get us on court outside here, so we can get prepared for the postseason, which is just around the corner.
As you mentioned, falling in both duels late in the week here this week, but still a lot to be proud of going up against 2 very, very good teams in Harrisburg and Rapid City Christian. As we look ahead now to next week, a pair of triangulars are on the schedule. Hoping to get back outdoors again, like you said, the first one on Tuesday at 11 a.m. in Yankton, and the second on Thursday in Watertown at 10 a.m. You could give a little rundown at what your schedule's looking like next week, who you might be seeing in those meets.
Well, Vermilion we've seen before. They're a young team, very inexperienced team, and we will have the opportunity to put out a junior varsity lineup out on their varsity and compete at a very high level for those guys. So we're always excited when Vermilion comes to town because it gives us an opportunity to get some new names and new faces, a little bit of court time, because finding court time for some of our lower flighted players often it's just very difficult. And so every chance we get, we want to jump on that opportunity. And so we'll take that opportunity with Vermilion on Tuesday. And then Lennox we haven't seen yet. I actually had the opportunity to watch them play Rapid City Christian here just last night. And they're a quality team. They're very, very talented up at the top of their lineup. They're number 1 and 2 singles players, or coaches' kids, and they know how to play tennis and they can hit the ball. And we need to be prepared when we step on the court against those guys. And a little bit lower in their flights, they're a little bit less experienced, but I was very impressed with how they played. And we're certainly not a team that you can look past. And so we're going to need to be on our game and play efficient tennis when we step on the court with Lennox. Otherwise, they're going to, they might step on our toes a little bit and catch us a little bit off guard. So we'll be prepared. We'll come out firing, and we'll be looking to kind of get back in the W column on Tuesday with hopefully Vermilion and Lennox. Watertown, on the other hand, heading up to Watertown at the end of the week. Watertown always puts a very, very quality team on the court. They're not a team that generally puts a lot of really big superstars on the court, but they're very solid. They're very level from first flight all the way down through their sixth flight, as well as their doubles teams. And they caught us off guard a little bit last year at a couple spots, and they didn't really graduate a lot. So they're going to be solid up at the top of their lineup. We're going to have to step on the court definitely prepared, and then to compound that with the fact that it's an ESD matchup, one that's very important for ESD seeds as well as state tournament seeds. Kind of just puts a little bit more pressure on everyone. And, we're playing away from our home court area, which, to be honest with you, we haven't done a whole lot of this year. We've played in the majority of our matches right here at home. So getting away from our, the friendly confines of whether the indoor courts or the home courts outside is something that we just haven't had an opportunity to do much this year. And that's just going to add another element. But our guys have all been there. They've all played. They're all experienced, and we should be up for the battle.
Well, Coach Haig, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to talk to me, coming right out of that duel with Rapid City Christian and getting on the phone with me. I do appreciate it. Good luck next week in your triangulars in Yankton and in Watertown. Getting down the home stretch of the season, we'll hope to get you back on here on the Coach's Corner next week with some results from those matches.
Thanks for all you guys do. We do appreciate the coverage that you guys give us. We really, our guys work hard all season, and you guys do a fantastic job letting everybody know just how proud we are of these guys. So thank you very much.
It's a great team to cover, and it's an honor to cover them, Coach. Thank you for talking to me.
No problem. You guys have a good afternoon.
All right, thank you. You have a great rest of your day. For the Coach's Corner, I'm Braden Butler.
There are a lot of benefits for your small business when you have a relationship with your locally owned and operated The UPS Store. I'm Doug Frederick, manager of the UPS Store of Yankton. Not only do we provide excellent customer service, but we also provide the necessary tools to help your small business thrive. We can help you with everything ing, printing, packing, copying, faxing, freighting, any ing your small business needs, even shredding, notarizing, mailboxing, every ing for your small business, and of course, shipping. The UPS Store of Yankton, across from Walmart.
Sports injuries can be the result of competitive activities, but can also happen by just participating in leisure activities too. If you're experiencing pain as the result of your chosen activity, consider chiropractic care. I'm Dr. Mackenzie Erlinson with First Chiropractic Centers. We have experienced chiropractors that work with sports injuries every day. Our treatment options are aimed to minimize pain, reduce recovery time, and reduce risk of future injuries. Visit First Chiropractic Centers, making life better, one adjustment at a time.
Spring is the perfect time of year to start upgrading your home. And what better place to start than with your garage doors? This is Cody Miles, owner of Upper Midwest Garage Door. We offer a wide variety of American-made, unique Clopay garage doors, free in-home consultations, a digital preview of the new garage doors on your home, and the expert small-town service you deserve. Home improvement season is here. Get started today with your local independent Clopay dealer. Give us a call, stop by, or learn more at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com.
Bring the crew to Pizza Ranch in Yankton. This is Annie, and we have legendary pizza and chicken just waiting for you on our buffet. Let us know what you're craving, and we'll make it fresh and bring you the first slice. Or let us deliver right to your front door. Your locally owned Yankton Pizza Ranch on Broadway, 665-1222.
It's where life tastes better. Surround them up and head her down to the Pizza Ranch. Whoa, that's good.
And welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Bryce Ladwig here, 1019 Broadway Avenue. Braden Butler was the one that caught up with all of our Yankton coaches the last couple days on the Pizza Ranch phone line. Pizza Ranch for the best chicken and pizza. It's Yankton Pizza Ranch. Call 665-1222 or visit them on Broadway. All right, Braden Butler caught up with Coach Jill Muth, Yankton Gazelles softball. That was a couple days ago. Here is that conversation.
This is Braden Butler here on the Coach's Corner. Joining me currently is Yankton varsity softball coach Jill Muth. Before we get into anything, Coach Muth, how are you doing today?
Doing good. We are sitting here looking at some rainy weather and wishing we were getting to play some softball, but going to find a day where it's nicer.
As you mentioned, the weather that we're forecasting over the next couple of days in softball don't exactly mix well. A couple of games against Sturgis was supposed to take place Thursday afternoon, and Rapid City Stevens on Friday afternoon. Both of them have been postponed. We'll talk about that more in just a little bit, but first I'd like to look back at the game played earlier this week between the Yankton Gazelles and the T-Area Titans. Yankton fell in that one in a high-scoring game between the two teams. If you could give a little more insight on that one from a coach's perspective.
Yeah, it was, ended up losing that one 11-13, and both teams just hit the ball really well. They were hitting it. We came out and got ahead, and then they scored some runs, and we scored some runs, and they scored. I mean, it was back and forth, and unfortunately, in the last couple innings, they scored a few more than we did, and ended up beating us 11-13.
Coach, we touched on it a little bit already, but the game that was scheduled for Thursday against Sturgis and the one Friday against Rapid City Stevens, both have been postponed. Is there any information on a makeup date for those yet, or any information you can give on those?
Yeah, we have a tournament scheduled May 5th and 6th in Sioux Falls. We're going to play those games one of those 2 days. We just don't know when or where yet for sure.
All right, so those games postponed to either May 5th or 6th. Obviously, more information will come out as those get closer because that's 2 weeks away. Team has a busy schedule coming up next week, Coach. 4 games over 6 days. If you could kind of give us a look at the next week of Gazelle softball, where they'll be traveling and who they're playing.
Yeah, we have a busy week next week. We play O'Gorman at home Monday. We go to Watertown Tuesday. We go to Roosevelt Thursday, and we play Aberdeen at home on Saturday. So we've got a busy week.
With that busy schedule next week, how is the team really preparing, Coach, to take on this grind of this late April, early May schedule that they got coming up?
We are, trying to work on some defensive things here the last couple days, because we knew that with the weather not being real great, we could get indoors and hit, but it's hard to do the defensive stuff indoors. So the last couple of days since our T game, we've been working outside defensively, and then here the next few days we're going to try to hit and go see what we can do. We haven't had issues scoring runs. If you look at our game scores, we've scored a lot of runs. So definitely, the defensive side is where we need to clean up a few things. Just keep getting better and keep working together, and putting some kids together that haven't played a ton together and in the positions they're in a ton. And so just kind of a work in progress as we go.
Well, Coach, I'd like to thank you for taking time out of your day to talk to me here on the Coach's Corner about Yankton softball. I'd like to wish you and the team luck in the coming week with your busy schedule, Coach, and hopefully we can find some time in the week to talk to you for next week's Coach's Corner.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate your coverage of Yankton High School athletics.
All right. For Yankton softball head coach Jill Muth, I'm Braden Butler. This is the Coach's Corner on KYNT.
All right, that was Yankton Gazelles softball talk. Braden Butler caught up with Coach Jill Muth. We'll take a break, come back, and we'll hear what Braden Butler and Coach Drew Lawrence talked about when they spoke yesterday afternoon in preparation for the show today. That's Around the Corner. This is the Coach's Corner.
There are a lot of benefits for your small business when you have a relationship with your locally owned and operated The UPS Store. I'm Doug Frederick, manager of the UPS Store of Yankton. Not only do we provide excellent customer service, but we also provide the necessary tools to help your small business thrive. We can help you with everything ing, printing, packing, copying, faxing, freighting, any ing your small business needs, even shredding, notarizing, mailboxing, every ing for your small business, and of course, shipping. The UPS Store of Yankton, across from Walmart.
Sports injuries can be the result of competitive activities, but can also happen by just participating in leisure activities too. If you're experiencing pain as the result of your chosen activity, consider chiropractic care. I'm Dr. Mackenzie Erlinson with First Chiropractic Centers. We have experienced chiropractors that work with sports injuries every day. Our treatment options are aimed to minimize pain, reduce recovery time, and reduce risk of future injuries. Visit First Chiropractic Centers, making life better, one adjustment at a time.
Spring is the perfect time of year to start upgrading your home. And what better place to start than with your garage doors? This is Cody Miles, owner of Upper Midwest Garage Door. We offer a wide variety of American-made, unique Clopay garage doors, free in-home consultations, a digital preview of the new garage doors on your home, and the expert small-town service you deserve. Home improvement season is here. Get started today with your local independent Clopay dealer. Give us a call, stop by, or learn more at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com.
Bring the crew to Pizza Ranch in Yankton. This is Annie, and we have legendary pizza and chicken just waiting for you on our buffet. Let us know what you're craving, and we'll make it fresh and bring you the first slice. Or let us deliver right to your front door. Your locally owned Yankton Pizza Ranch on Broadway, 665-1222.
It's where life tastes better. Surround them up and head her down to the Pizza Ranch. Whoa, that's good.
Hey, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Bryce Ladwig with you. Braden Butler, again, caught up with Coach Drew Lawrence of Yankton Bucks Baseball yesterday afternoon. We'll go ahead and play that interview for you. Again, this is Coach Drew Lawrence, Yankton Bucks Baseball.
This is Braden Butler here for the Coach's Corner. Joining me currently is Yankton Bucks Baseball head coach Drew Lawrence. Drew, you got a couple big wins earlier this week, had a cancellation on Thursday night, and then obviously you're getting back in action next Tuesday. We'll get to all that and more in this interview, but before we get into anything, how are you doing today?
Doing good. I'm excited to keep playing, and we're happy that we had a couple wins on Monday, so we're really good.
Talking about those big wins on Monday as you defeated the Mitchell Colonels over the course of a doubleheader. Took game one, did the Bucks 8-2, took game two 10-7. Coach Lawrence, if you could give us a perspective from the dugout on what you saw out there, what really stood out to you, and what was really key in those victories.
Well, it's always good to compete and beat Mitchell. They're always a good squad. In every sport, Yankton really wants to do a good job competing with them. That's what we would consider a rival and what the players would consider a rival. So it's always good in our eyes that we can go out and have success against them. In those games, we didn't necessarily play the way that we normally play. We had some errors on defense. We gave up a lot more runs than we usually do. But the boys found a different way to win. We pounded out a lot of hits. We had some big key guys at the plate. Some guys in the bottom of the order step up and have some really big hits. And then our pitching was good. We just defensively didn't do as well as we wanted to. But always good to find different ways to win, and the boys did that. So we were very proud of them as a coaching staff for figuring out a way to do that. We're going to move on, and hopefully we can do a little bit better defensively.
We alluded to it earlier, Coach, but the game on Thursday night against Del Rapids was canceled due to some weather. Is there any plans to make up that contest with Del Rapids, or has that one been canceled for the season?
That one's just canceled. We can't really. It's hard to reschedule when you get to this point. With them having their own region games for Class B that they have to play, and us having to play our Class A games, when you get into the end of April and beginning of May, most teams, including Yankton, kind of load up there because we know that the weather is going to be a little bit nicer than what it has been. So there's no games to be played there. That's okay. The boys were excited to go and play. Del Rapids has a very good squad, so we were excited to go and play a very top Class B team. And I know Del Rapids likes playing us, and we try and do that every year. Unfortunately, those will just end up being canceled.
It's unfortunate there, but then you do get a little bit of extra time off before your upcoming games against the Sioux Falls Roosevelt Rough Riders. That is on Tuesday at home. You give a kind of look ahead at the scouting report on the Rough Riders.
The Rough Riders have really good pitching staff. They probably have the best pitcher in the state. I'm not sure if he's going to throw or not, but Riddell's really good. I mean, he's going to Notre Dame. He's throwing 92 or 94 miles an hour. So if we have to face him, it's going to be a really good challenge for us, and we're excited about that. They're coached really well. Eric Young is an old player from Sioux Falls Roosevelt and summer in Sioux Falls and played at SDSU. And last year they were the number one team in the state. They didn't win the state title last year, but they were there to compete for it. And so he's always got them ready. So it's going to be a good challenge for us. But like you said, we're going to be fresh. We're going to be ready to go with having a couple of days off. So we'll be able to circle back around with the guys that have been throwing for us. I think Drew's already thrown 19 innings. Sean will be able to throw, Matthew, Lucas. All those guys will be ready to go. So we'll be a full board, and I know the players will be ready to go.
All right, well, thank you for taking the time out of your day to talk to me, Coach, here for the Coach's Corner. We'll talk to you again on Tuesday in the post-game of that one. As of right now, Coach, it looks like Bryce Ladwig is going to return to the booth for the first time since the birth of his son in that one as well.
All right, well, I'm glad he can make it to a game now, and we'll see how he does up there.
Got to knock the rust off a little bit, but I'll be there with him, I know. We've been through a couple games already, Coach. We'll make sure he's all set.
You bet. Thanks.
All right, thank you once again to head coach Drew Lawrence of the Yankton Bucks baseball team. For the Coach's Corner, I'm Braden Butler.
All right, thanks to Coach Drew Lawrence for talking to our very own Braden Butler for that interview. We'll take a break, come back, and wrap things up here on the Coach's Corner from the KYNT Studios. Again, sponsored by SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab.
Are you new to the Yankton area, or have you lived here your entire life and just bought that house in the corner you've loved since you were a kid? Have an agent that lives, works, and raises their family right alongside of you. You may know me. I'm Skylar Sherman with Missouri River Associates in Yankton. Give me a call or even stop me in the store, and let's set up a time and make sure all of your insurance policies are right.
Missouri River Associates, 605-665-6885.
Spring is the perfect time of year to start upgrading your home. And what better place to start than with your garage doors? This is Cody Miles, owner of Upper Midwest Garage Door. We offer a wide variety of American-made, unique Clopay garage doors. Free in-home consultations, a digital preview of the new garage doors on your home, and the expert small-town service you deserve. Home improvement season is here. Get started today with your local independent Clopay dealer. Give us a call, stop by, or learn more at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com.
SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab in Yankton has a newer research-based mindset when it comes to treating musculoskeletal aches and pains. We take the time to figure out where the pain is coming from and educate our patients on what they can do to improve their functional range of motion. We administer a range of treatments and preventative approaches that are customized to each individual patient and their health goals. Visit us on our website at swatchiropracticandrehab.com. When you need to feel better, visit SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab out by the lake on West Highway 52.
All right, that is the Coach's Corner. That will do it for the Coach's Corner, I should say. And again, a very special thank you to Braden Butler for stepping up in my absence, broadcasting games solo, taking care of the show last week, and interviewing coaches this week for me so that I could just come in and play these interviews and get things organized and just start to get back into the swing of things. As my family has welcomed a new baby boy into the mix, it has been an adventure. Stayed a little longer in the hospital than we expected, about a week longer with some oxygen issues, but he is at home. He is doing well, and very thankful for that. And to everyone that has really supported my family, including, again, Braden Butler, sports producer for KYNT. Does an excellent job, and I really appreciate his efforts. Thanks to the coaches for joining him on the Pizza Ranch phone line. And most importantly, thank you for listening or watching to the Coach's Corner on KYNT and KYNTV. Go Bucks, go Gazelles, go enjoy the rest of your weekend. This has been the Coach's Corner.